You're listening to Podketeers.
Welcome to episode 377 of Podketeers. This week, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was released. We talk about the film breaking box office records, and Larry tells us about the film. We also share some of the shows that we're watching on Disney+. A sequel to The Rocketeer is in the works. Haunted Mansion Holiday is open, and guests were treated with a surprise. A new section at Starcade and Tomorrowland opens for Magic Key holders. Plus, what do oranges, cinnamon, vanilla, and toilet bowl cleaner have in common? You'll find out in this episode. Remember that you can join the conversation over on Instagram, Facebook, or on Twitter. Just search for Podketeers, but we'd like to invite you to join our growing community over on Discord. You can find an invite in the blog post for this episode over at podketeers.com/377 or by going to podketeers.com and scrolling down on the homepage. Team Boat Willie is the official charity team of the Podketeers podcast, and we're participating in a Walk for Hope to raise money to help find a cure for women's cancers. Our team donation page is up and running. We'd love to have you as a part of the team, so on that page you'll find information on how you can sign up. But if you just want to hang out on your couch, provide a donation, that's also cool. You'll find a donation link on that page. You can head over to teamboatwillie.com for more information on the event. Plus, you'll also be able to find information on our brand new enamel pins. Proceeds from the sales of these pins will go towards our Walk for Hope efforts, because cancer sucks and we're just trying to do our part to help to find a cure, and you get a cool pin out of it. So the pin information is going to be coming soon. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram to know when that launches. Again, that link is teamboatwillie.com. It's super easy to remember because it's just like Steamboat Willie, but without the S. And of course, before we kick off the episode, we want to send a huge shout out to the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. As part of the FGP Squad family, you get some additional perks like exclusive discount codes for Podketeers gear, additional content like the Podketeers After Show, and access to our monthly happy hour calls, just to name a few of the perks. For more info on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP. And as always, a super special thank you goes out to the FGP Squad for their continued support. So that's it. It's time to kick off this episode. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. We hope you enjoy what you're listening to, and we hope that you come back for more. If you've been with us for a while, welcome back. We appreciate all of you taking some time to hang out with us. So here we go. Here is episode 377 of Podketeers.
Howdy, folks! Welcome to the one and only original Podketeers Jamboree, featuring a bit of chat from your pals Liver Lips Hazen, Big Larry, and Swingin' Melissa. And right now, I give you a sorted group of executioners of Talkin' Gab, the Podketeers, plus Andrew. And that's the thing.
That was amazing.
Dude.
Wow, that's...
Absolutely.
I never thought I would be aligned with Liver Lips in that fashion.
I've been listening to all the Country Bear soundtracks recently, so I've had that stuck in my head. I needed to get that out.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
done.
it. I feel like it's a very good beginning for a YouTube variety hour.
Yeah. And now
Yeah,
your
Country
host.
Bears meets YouTube.
There we go.
Oh.
Way.
It's like the Muppets
Nice.
YouTube, but like with Country Bears.
Country Bears.
With our faces.
That's funny.
It's the next big thing. It's 2 weeks we're going to see it on YouTube.
Oh, or Disney Plus, one of the two.
Yeah.
On Disney
Right.
Plus, pretending that it's on YouTube,
Yeah.
trying to put on a variety show.
Country
I feel
Bears
like I've seen
now.
that before. Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting.
We'd never see anything like that on Disney Plus, though.
Never.
You know what we will see on Disney Plus, though? Can I just tell you that I have been enjoying the heck out of Turner and Hooch?
Really? Because you were kind of hesitant.
Yeah, we've been watching it too. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the influx of these remakes because there's also going to be like a Doogie Howser remake that's coming really soon, and I forgot the name of it. But, I mean, I don't know. I think we've talked about this before, that we kind of want original stuff, right, instead of these remakes. And you always worry that the remakes aren't ever going to hold a candle to the originals. And I can't say that I was like a huge Turner and Hooch fan. You know, I like Tom Hanks. I like the stuff that he's in, but that's not a mountain I was going to die on, right? So
Right.
the fact that I started watching this one, the first episode was good enough that it kind of captured my attention. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's way better than I anticipated it being. If you haven't started watching it, I say give it a shot. It's pretty good. Even my wife and kids are enjoying it as well, so pretty happy about that. Have you guys started watching anything else recently on Disney Plus?
I know.
No,
Yeah,
not
we're
recently.
caught up on Turner and Hooch. We watched a couple episodes of Doug Days since that's
Yes.
been released.
those
That's
are
me.
great.
They're so good.
Oh,
And I'm
just finished it.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
pace myself to
I couldn't. I went all
not
in.
watch them all.
So did we. We're with Larry on this one. Larry, tell me you didn't get kicked hard in the feels on that final episode, final scene.
Oh yeah, when he's I don't want to spoil it for
I
anyone,
don't want
but-
to spoil it either, but
there's a lot of feels, and execution on comedy is what you would expect if Doug had his own show. It's just, I don't know. It's just on another level, and they really thought about, I don't know, they really thought about looking at this in the scope of a dog, which,
Yeah.
I mean, sounds really, like you're talking about Turner and Hooch, right? But this dog story, but everybody's like in love with Doug, right? It's just, that's the dog, squirrel, right? That's like their selling point in the trailer, just emphasizing a dog's life, but through Doug's eyes, and I love it. I just, and the music, holy cow.
Yes.
Just hearing the Up music again, hearing that score, because they implement it into the shorts, it really, well, there you go, the feels all over again. Here we go.
Yeah, I have to agree with you that a lot of the gags that they have between him and Carl are so well executed. I don't think it'll spoil the whole show, but I'll tell you this much. There's a bit that they do in one of the episodes that's very who's on first. And it has to do with digging, Doug, and what's past tense. And it is so well done, and it's so just well executed that I hope that Doug Days gets renewed for more episodes, because
Same.
like I feel like, I don't know if you felt this, but when Forky Asks a Question came on, it was a very repetitive pattern, right? Get the question, boom, you get a snappy answer, it's kind of fun. But 4 or 5 episodes in, you're like, okay, we got it. Cool. Forky Asks a Question. Got it. And they weren't all as good as like the first 2 or 3 were, in my opinion. But I feel like every episode of Doug Days does a really great job of continuing the story of Doug and Carl, of Russell. They do a really good job of sprinkling Ellie here and there, but not in a way where it's like you instantly feel sad for Carl or anything. I think watching it now, there was a little bit of sadness, especially with the recent passing of Ed Asner. But I think overall, if you remove that from the equation a little bit and you put it into just kind of the scope of where Up fits in, like into the Pixar timeline and everything, this does a really good job of kind of getting that sense of Carl moving on, being happy with Doug, being happy with Russell around and everything. So, yeah, I really hope they continue this, man.
Same.
Everything they've been doing on Disney Plus so far, I mean, at least the stuff that I watch. I haven't watched everything, obviously. My wife was watching the Disney Princesses Remixed or something, or I forget what it was called. It's a new
I've
show
heard
that just
that
recently
one.
came on. I caught a glimpse of it, and it looks like it's a lot of the kids from High School Musical putting on musical performances of different Disney songs.
Okay.
Didn't watch it. I'd have to ask her how she felt about it. But, yeah, I mean, all the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the homages to the attractions that they've been putting in there, the animation style, man, I'm telling you, it's a dream. I love it. I love that we're able to enjoy this type of stuff in 2021.
Small shout out to Chip and Dale in the park.
Right?
I have a lot to catch up on. Everything sounds good. I will have to check it out.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. And you know what? I think a lot of the stuff, especially with like Doug Days, the Chip and Dale stuff, the Mickey Mouse shorts, all of that is definitely stuff you can play in the background. I don't think that it's, at least not to me, I don't know how you all feel about this, but to me, watching something like The Imagineering Story, What If, like any of these shows that really require you to pay attention, either because there's going to be a huge plot twist or a plot point, or especially in the Marvel stuff, there's so many intricate details in how they tell the stories that you have to be glued to what you're watching. But these other things, like Monsters at Work, I think was just another fun thing that I recently finished, and I could just let it play in the background, and it's just so funny. Adding Gabriel Iglesias' character to Monsters at Work, I think added this extra element of funny that I wasn't expecting for the show either. And I dig it. Rose, oh, come on, man. Such a great character. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but do you, like, are there certain shows that you could just kind of play in the background? I know we've talked about this before, but for me, it's when it's not something that, how do I say this? When it's stuff I want to have kind of pay attention to because I need like mini distractions to kind of help my workflow, I'll watch something on Disney Plus because I know that I can quickly glance, I'll enjoy it. But when I know that it's something that I can just let play in the background and I don't have to worry about ever even turning around, but I want the noise in the background, I'll flip on like The Office.
Right. Something familiar in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stuff on Disney Plus, I really do try to pay attention to, especially Doug Days. Just in the things we're talking about, because after the first one or two, they really have the tone down for if you have a dog, your dog does these things. Like, I see my dogs in Doug. I mean, in every episode, it's very funny. Yeah, there's some stuff I always put Frasier on in the background if I need to work in or whatever and want to have something on Frasier or The Simpsons on Disney Plus. Frasier's not on Disney Plus, but
yeah.
The Simpsons is on Disney Plus. But yeah, there's
Give it 6 months.
yeah, well, it's on Hulu, so it's yeah. But yeah, there's definitely the shows that I can put on in the background. But I try and pay attention to the stuff on Disney Plus just mainly so I can talk about them here because I know if I don't pay attention, I'm gonna miss something, and it's gonna be funny or good or I don't know what.
Apparently, there's a new kids show. Like, it's meant for toddlers, possibly. It's a show from a few years back called Bluey, little cartoon.
Bluey
little dog.
is so good.
Is it? I keep hearing that it's super charming and that even if you're not a toddler, that you will enjoy watching Bluey.
So over the pandemic, I was helping my niece with school because I didn't have work because I work in theater, and her parents had to work, and she was doing online school, and so she'd get dropped off in the morning, and she picked Bluey, and they are very funny. It's an Australian show, and it's about these blue heeler dogs, and it's just the two parents and the kids, and they just it's a lot of imagination and playing, and the dad is the funniest character in this show. So yeah, if you don't have kids, don't feel bad about watching Bluey because it's hilarious.
Okay. Is this watch while you're working on something or watch and pay attention to it?
I think you could do both. If you I wouldn't watch it if you're trying to not laugh in the middle because there's a lot of silly dumb funny things. But yeah, and there's a lot of episodes. There's 2 seasons, but each season has 50 episodes or something.
Oh, wow.
It's ridiculous.
But aren't they really short? Aren't they 5 minutes long though?
No, I think they're an average 20-minute episodes if I'm remembering correctly. But it's been a few months since I've done the Zoom thing and watched Bluey, but
Okay. Yeah, I thought they were more like shorts where it was just a collection of, these little 5-minute episodes. But,
let's see.
huh.
Oh, you
Okay.
know what? 7 minutes long. I guess I was wrong.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
there's
that's still pretty
yeah.
short.
But yeah, there's over 100 episodes. So,
Wow. Well, there you go. I mean, you got yourself some Bluey to get you through the week now.
yeah. It's yeah. I have firsthand knowledge. I recommend Bluey very much.
Right on, man. Well, I mean, there's so much to talk about as far as what we can watch on Disney Plus. If there's anything that you've recently started watching that we haven't touched on yet or that you recommend for us, join the conversation over on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. We'd love to hear your recommendations. You can also join us over on our Discord server. If you haven't joined the family there yet, you can head over to the blog post for this episode over at podketeers.com/377. You'll see the invite on that blog post. You can also just go to podketeers.com, scroll down a bit, and you'll see the invite there as well. Few things to bring up this episode. Some stuff happening in the parks. Some movie stuff happening. This weekend was Labor Day weekend, and we saw the release of Shang-Chi. That is the latest Marvel film, and there's been a lot of talk, a lot of controversy, obviously, because of what happened with Scarlett Johansson, and Bob Chapek had said that this film was going to be an experiment, and overall, I think what we saw this weekend was a couple of things. I thought I had the numbers. Yeah, it looks like as far as what it made, one of the articles that I think I saw said that it had brought in approximately $71.4 million on its debut.
Nice.
And that previous record was from all the way back in 2007, and it was held by Halloween, only bringing in $30.6 million. So it basically more than doubled opening day. And there's a couple of things that we could talk about when it comes to those numbers, right? One, I think the reason that it was so long for a film to break a Labor Day weekend record was because films normally don't get released on Labor Day weekend. It's one of the poorest performing weekends of the year when it comes to film releases, but like I was saying earlier, I think this release showed a couple of things. One, people are super excited about having Asian American representation in the MCU and having it in such a way that's just super awesome. Right, because I've seen a couple of, I saw the trailer and I've seen people posting, which you shouldn't do, by the way, if you're at the movies. Don't be posting stuff about the movies, because when we don't expect it on TikTok or Instagram, we see the and anyway, I don't want to get angry about it, but just don't do it. Okay, just leave it as a surprise for us. The point is, though, that the pieces that I saw are so cool. Larry, you had a chance to see the film this weekend. Tell us about it, man.
Well, I don't know. Like, going into Marvel, I've been following, talk about Disney Plus, looped at it. I've been following What If, and if you guys are watching that, I give it definitely a big nod to. And if you have any questions about how it plays to Marvel's intertwining story they're telling right now, I think the last episode with Doctor Strange they just had in the past week we're recording, this. They haven't got to the Wednesday yet, which will be a zombie episode, I think, when we're coming out with this. But it kind of tied into this, but not in a huge way. There's just like inspirational tones. But let's just put it like this. I didn't have a lot of expectations for Shang-Chi, right? 10 Rings. If you were on the borderline of wanting to watch just a good movie, this is cool. Absolutely awesome. Things I gotta say, it's like Crouching Tiger meets The Matrix, but with the Marvel hero backstory that literally blows you away. And then, it had enough, nods to Marvel Comics storylines and characters. But, at the same time, it's also paying respect to ancient Chinese culture, like you were talking about, in a really respectful way. And the fight scenes, dude, are literally on a level that I haven't seen in Marvel movies yet. And it's because they're dare I say, Bruce Lee, but Jackie Chan execution level. It's so good. And they nailed it again by obviously one of the big things I always talk about is they pulled me into a new character story that has inspiration like written all over it. But at the same time, they're hitting these like awesome comedy notes like you love in Marvel where you just end up laughing because it's just pure comedy. It's funny. So if you're on the borderline, you want to go watch it, go for it. This is worth it. And it does, just no spoilers here because like Hazen said, it does matter for the story they're telling for Marvel. It matters. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing so many great things about it. Everybody that's gone and had a chance to watch it, the biggest thing that I keep hearing is that, you touched on it as well, that we don't really have these types of action scenes in anything in the Marvel Universe yet, right? But on top of that, I think going into the next phase of the MCU, we also don't really have what you can call a leading character anymore. We had that with Iron Man, and Iron Man kind of drove the Infinity Saga. But who's driving the next saga, right? People would argue that it's Peter, the Spider-Man character, but I don't think it is. Like, if Marvel doesn't have full control of Spider-Man, he can't be the one that drives the story because you never know when Sony's going to be like, yeah, we're taking our ball home. Do whatever you want with the other characters. So they have to work with what they have. Yeah, they have Doctor Strange, and I think Doctor Strange is going to play a pivotal role in upcoming films, obviously. We're seeing that setup happen. It could also be Wanda, because she's playing. But, Shang-Chi, I think, I want to make sure that I'm saying it properly.
It's funny because it plays into the movie what you're doing.
Oh, it does?
So don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
There's a part. It's funny.
The thing is that for a long time, I didn't know much about the character. And when they first announced it, I remember always calling it Shang-Chi. And Shang-Chi is incorrect.
Exactly. It's very close to Sean, which you kind of play into this movie. I'm telling you, there's a part, and I don't want to ruin it. So I'm telling you, it's good. You're doing good.
Okay, good. Okay. Oh, whew. Well, I know I'm going to have people correct me, but I want to try to say it at least correctly. But his character in the comics... Oh, man, there's so much I want to say. You know what? I think we're going to have to do an after show that's driven by Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and what's happening in What If. So on the next after show, let's put a pin in it. That's what we're going to talk about. Because I'll tell you this much. In the comic books, Shang-Chi gets hired to train Peter Parker in martial arts when he loses his spider powers. So there's an entire storyline built around the fact that he tries to... Oh, man, I don't even know if that's going to be a part of the MCU at some point. But... Shang-Chi gets spider powers. He teaches Peter how to do martial arts because he just can't rely on his spider powers. And then when he finally gets them back, he's like this amazing superhero because of what Shang-Chi taught him. So if that ever happens in the MCU, oh man, we are in for a storyline. Okay? Because with everything that's happening right now, there's at least 4 different comics that everything is being based on. We talked about how WandaVision was leading into a possible House of M tie-in. We talked about how... this is all after show. We're going to have to... Because if I start talking about this now, I'm going for 2 hours.
Learn from that Spider-Man Sony
I'm going for 2 hours.
thing we did the other week.
Oh, right.
Let me just say something real quick, and 20 minutes
real
later
life stuff.
we're still going.
That's the problem, right? That if I go off on a tangent, I can kind of go for an hour if I need to. So we're going to save that for the after show. But I'm glad that the film was awesome. Shang-Chi, I think, is the type of character that could lead the next saga for Marvel. I think he's got, from what I've seen so far, I haven't seen the film. We actually saw on Instagram that FGP Squad member Heather had gone to a drive-in to see it. And I looked at it, and I looked at my wife. I was like, you know what? Why don't we go to a drive-in?
Go. I'm all you're selling.
I'm still not comfortable going into a movie theater to watch it, but
I get it.
I think I could be totally cool with us sitting inside of our car, munching on pizza, watching this film. I think it would be super fun for us to do that. So that might be how we end up watching it.
It's
If you're
cool.
unable to see it because
Yeah.
you don't have a drive-in or you don't feel comfortable going to the movies yet, it will be available on Disney Plus next month. So that, I think, is part of what was playing into all of what was riling people up, because, you know, everything that happened with Black Widow, where it was simultaneously released in theaters and on Disney Plus, Scarlett Johansson claimed that she had lost a lot of money. And when you're looking at the numbers that Shang-Chi brought in over Labor Day weekend, I mean, the argument is kind of there that she kind of did, right? Like, so you kind of understand that it may not have brought in like Infinity War or Endgame type numbers, you know, towards the end, but we're still in a pandemic, technically. Not everybody's comfortable seeing it. The numbers that we saw on Disney Plus are totally different because, you know, we talked about this before. Like, some of us feel comfortable because we're paying a monthly fee, or we're paying a $30 fee one time, and 5 people in a household might be able to watch it all at once, right? That's 5 tickets that somebody's not getting your money from, on top of the concessions that they would have lost. So, I mean, I get it. I have to admit that I feel like I was completely wrong, and I'm kind of happy about it. That I felt that going into the pandemic, that movie theaters, unless they were niche, weren't really going to survive. That unless they had something that separated them, and they had like the 4D technology, or, you know, like in Hollywood we used to have like the Cinerama Dome and stuff, which I think is closed now, right? I thought that theaters weren't going to survive, but this, I think, shows that the movie-going experience is alive and well, and that the farther removed we become from the pandemic, you know, that people are just going to be ready. And if we have more opportunities to do stuff at like drive-ins, like, who knows, maybe this is the revival of drive-ins.
Maybe. That'd be great.
That'd be great. I would like to see
Yeah.
that. Some innovation drive-ins would be cool if that came from this.
Well, if you had an opportunity to watch Shang-Chi this weekend, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I know that there's a lot of spoilers going around, so if we can stay spoiler-free, that would be fantastic. But I love what they're doing. What if, like you said, Larry, is... I didn't think it was going to be canon, but I think Kevin Feige straight up said, yeah, it's... Or somebody recently had an interview where they said, yeah, no, it's canon. So everything that's happening in What If is just something that's happening in the multiverse. Like, so much so that we might get Captain Carter in an upcoming film.
It is.
Yeah.
So much good stuff to talk
It's
about.
crazy. I'm telling you, it's like an inspiration. Like the timing they did, I was like, dang you, Marvel, don't do this anymore. When you're watching it, you're like, God, these guys are just on another level of like, I can't even remember what to make for breakfast. These guys are over here, like intertwining timelines and realms, and oh, dude, and they're telling a great story. So if you're on the fence, like Hazen said, your comfort level is 100%, but I'm telling you, in theaters, this was awesome. But if you feel like you need to like be more safe, I'm still saying, please go watch it at least in a drive-in, because that big screen does make a difference. And the fight scenes, awesome.
That is awesome. Hey, speaking of films, did you guys hear that the Rocketeer is getting a remake?
No,
Is it going
I
to
did
be?
not know.
Is that Disney Plus?
I believe it is going to be straight to Disney Plus. And I actually misspoke. It's not going to be a remake. It's going to be a sequel to the original film.
Nice.
Because I know they had on Disney Plus. They had for a little while. They had like a Rocketeer kids show.
Yeah, I think it's still there. I hope they did.
I'm sure it's still. It might be still there. I don't know if they're making any more of it. But
yeah, that is.
But anyway,
I don't think they're making any more of it. But you're right. It wasn't that bad either. I quite enjoyed watching that one as well. I've been a huge fan of the Rocketeer for a really long time, and when I heard this news, I was pretty happy that this was happening. Are we all fans of the Rocketeer here, or am I just the only crazy one?
Heck
No.
yes.
it's been a while since I've seen it, but from what I remember, I liked it. So
Right
there
on.
you go.
Right on. So it looks like on August 30th, we got an announcement that David Oyelowo, am I saying that correctly? I don't know how to say his name. and his production company, Yoruba Saxon Productions, are going to be producing the film for Disney. It sounds like he might also be cast in the film in a starring role. He and Jessica Oyelowo, I guess, have partnered with Disney to do a bunch of other things as well. They've worked on Queen of Katwe. There was a film. They worked on A Wrinkle in Time. The biggest thing that he's worked on is he's actually a voice actor. He's worked on Rebels, the Star Wars Rebels cartoon, as Agent Kallus. So, I mean, he's worked with Disney on several projects. So the fact that he's going to be taking on this project, he's very familiar with the Disney way of working, so to speak, because every studio has a way that they produce things, right? So if you already kind of know how the machine works, I think it's easier for you to get a project like this off the ground. So I'm kind of excited about what this is going to be. I'm hoping to see more details soon because we just need more Rocketeer in our lives. If a little doll,
good sequel.
Yeah, I mean, if a little doll over at Joe's Frozen, what is it called? What's the official name of that place?
Joe's
Italian
Italian Ice, yeah. If the little Rocketeer doll makes me lose it, imagine a whole new film. Come on now.
Woo!
Love it.
Well, doesn't Tomorrowland have the little in the popcorn?
Oh, yeah.
It does. It
He
does.
has Rocketeer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I could bring that home for my popcorn machine, I think I'd love it. But they won't let me take it.
3D
They said that it belongs to the parks. How dare they?
Yeah, it's 3D print. Exactly. Melissa said 3D printer. There you go.
See, I mean, look, the arguments are stacking up for that 3D printer. Larry's just like, oh no. He's like smacking his head.
I thought this was
the
the Twilight Zone. I thought I'd went into a timeline where we just talk about 3D printers all day, but all right.
Oh, Larry, you didn't get the memo that this is the 3D printer podcast.
Welcome to the Podketeers 3D Printer Podcast.
Man.
That's funny.
Printketeers. Here we go.
Oh.
The wordplay to sink it. Nice job, Andrew. Nice.
I love it. That's so good. Hey, speaking of buying stuff, before we move on to talk about some of the stuff happening in the parks, I do want to quickly squeeze in and remind you that this episode of Podketeers is brought to you by a fantastic group of people known as the FGP Squad. The FGP Squad, or really that's what they call themselves, because we call them our podcast Fairy Godparents, but, FGP Squad is much easier to type in a hashtag, and I get it. You don't want your thumbs to hurt after typing 700 letters into your phone or your device. But they help us out with a monthly contribution via Patreon. If you want more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, you can head over to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find a list of some of our top contributors and some info on the FGP Squad, including a link to our Patreon so that you can sign up. Being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks like the Podketeers After Show. You get some additional content. You get discounts on Podketeers gear. You get access to the private FGP Squad part of the Discord server and more. So if you would like more info, again, podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go. And, of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support.
I really need to come up with a better, shorter thing for FGP because I've been typing out Podketeers, Fairy Godparents are the best on the planet, and it's really too long to type. So I need to come up with an acronym for that, but I don't think people are going to know what it is.
Well, we'll figure it out. I like that idea. I think, I mean, I like what you're typing out, but yeah, it's pretty long.
That's a big, long hashtag. It's only got one result, and it's mine. I don't know why.
Hey, at least you jumped on the hashtag, and now you've claimed it.
It's mine now, baby.
Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Andrew, did you go back to Spirit Halloween this week?
This week I didn't go to Spirit Halloween. I think last week I went to Spirit Halloween. I ended up with some more things there. I found these they're blind bag, like keychain things, Haunted Mansion blind bag keychains. I bought too many of them. They're like $8 a piece, and I think I bought like 7 of them. But I ended up with a full set of Hitchhiking Ghosts and a Leota and some other stuff. So that was I've stopped going to Spirit Halloween because I think I'm going to spend too much money. And plus, I have a Disneyland trip coming up, so
True.
I need to save money for that. But I had to go to Home Depot for stuff. We're remodeling the office here, and I had to pick up some stuff, and I saw they had, like we talked about before, the Haunted Mansion light dome thing. Over at Home Depot, they had a Mandalorian light dome.
Holy man.
Was it exactly the same as the Haunted Mansion one, but just Mandalorian?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Whoa. Don't undersell it. Andrew, tell them what else was on there other than the Mando. It was.
Well, so it's you got Grogu
Yes.
like standing on a little pumpkin.
Thank you.
And
Cuteness.
then there's pumpkins of like carved pumpkins with Mando and the symbol, the Mandalorian symbol, whatever that is, with the little tusks or whatever it is. And it says Mandalorian and Star Wars, and then it says like Boo and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they have that there. And then they also have these what I'll call life-size Jack and Sally animatronics.
so cool.
For the low price of $199 a piece. That's $199 a piece. So $400 for the pair. But they look pretty cool.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean,
in their defense, the picture you sent us, I was like,
Yeah.
you have to look
wow.
up a video because they moved the ones that the Home Depot that I went to, they weren't plugged in. But I know Jack like moves his fingers and their eyes blink and all kinds of stuff. So I'm sure there's a video online. And yeah, those were kind of cool. I don't know if I really want to spend $400 on a Jack and Sally.
Yeah.
If it was those hitchhiking ghosts again, I might have snatched those up. But yeah, oh well. So yeah, there's still some fun Halloween stuff coming out. I mean, granted, it is only the first week of September, so hopefully some of the Halloween stuff still coming out.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that whatever doesn't sell, if you just wait long enough, they'll be on clearance for about half price. But you'll just have to stay on top of it and pretty much go every day like you are now.
Yeah, okay.
And just become best friends with somebody that's going to tell you when it's going to go on clearance. Because at that point, they'll just save you one and say, okay, Andrew, it's $60 now. And then you can be like, okay, save 4 because Hazen wants one too.
Maybe I'll just get like a second job at Home Depot. At like
Hey.
at night, and then
then we got it firsthand. Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
Nice.
Or you could do what a lot of people used to do. I'm not saying myself, but you could take the item and put it in another place, kind of hide it there, and then wish that nobody sees it so that you could come back and purchase it.
there we go.
Again, I didn't
hide
do
it in
this.
the
Huh.
refrigerator in the back or something. Hopefully
Okay.
nobody looks in
Yeah.
there.
You know what's funny? I
Okay.
used to do that. I had kind of something like that, Melissa, where I thought I was gonna buy it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it," and then I was like, maybe I'm not, and I would leave it somewhere pretty, just random in the store, just like making a game for the employees, right? That's what it was for. So when
Yes.
they're done with the day, they're like, "What the heck? Where did this come from?" If I didn't come back and buy it, so that was kind of my
Yes.
plan.
Yeah, it wasn't like pre-Black Friday trying to game the system or anything. Hide this video game in a microwave thing.
Exactly.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm sad or not that you didn't get more stuff at Spirit Halloween because I felt like you were feeding my need to buy Haunted Mansion stuff since I couldn't get
That's so
Haunted
true.
Mansion stuff.
That's so true.
So now that you didn't, I'm like, oh, it's over, huh? Okay.
Well, it's not. I just haven't been. I bought Melissa's stuff. Melissa's got some stuff on the way.
I know. I opened the tab with him.
Oh, I didn't know we
no,
could do
don't
that. What?
advertise that. I was going to say, don't advertise for Andrew.
dude.
Don't do this to
Okay.
him.
Look, that's fine. I mean, I'll send you. Just send me your Venmo barcode,
Okay.
and I will add you to the list. And that way, if something comes up,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it happens to come up, who knows?
All right.
You
you
might
go.
just get a quick little deposit there.
Oh, sounds like a plan. I think we can work something out.
Nice. Hey, speaking of Jack and Sally, it's a great transition back into the parks because it is officially Haunted Mansion holiday season, and it looks like guests that were entering the mansion to see it for the first time were surprised to see that Jack and Sally are on the balcony of the mansion. You know,
So
this
awesome.
is something that, this is something that we've seen for special events, like when they did the Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary thing, but it isn't very common, and it was kind of nice to see that we had Jack and Sally still able to do a bit of a meet and greet, not necessarily the same type that we're used to, but, I mean, they were there, right?
Right, just the shots, the dang. I'm really jealous because I wish I would have seen this. That's beautiful to see them on top of the Haunted Mansion, or not the top, but the second floor. That's got to be an awesome sight.
Well, you have a trip coming up soon, right? Are you only going to DCA, or are you hopping that day?
Oh, no. Actually, my trip is in October, maybe sooner, because
Okay.
I kind of want my magic key like right now. I know. I'm eating my words. So I may be there next week.
Hey, look, we've had this conversation a lot off the podcast, okay? And I was like, I don't know, maybe that. And then look, first day, I'm like, yep, got it. I mean,
Right.
it wasn't me. My wife did it for us, and thankfully she was able to get it because I knew that I was getting hardcore FOMO. Even if I knew I wasn't going to go back to the park, I think just knowing that I was a magic key holder, like, just kind of
Yeah.
made me feel better. Like, I just, like, it filled my heart with happiness in a way that it was kind of missing.
Yep.
But yeah, I get it.
Feeling that
It's-
void in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally for it. You're not going to hear an argument from me on this one.
Come on, Melissa. You gotta get your magic key. I'm gonna be there, and so
I
you have
know.
to get it so you can come say hi, and then we can go ride Haunted Mansion.
Yay.
Dude, for real. And considering the way things have been going, I mean, it might be different now, right? Because now it's Halloween time. There's a lot of people that really enjoy this time in the parks. We've talked a lot about how even though the magic keys have been available, that availability has pretty much been on a per day basis. If you're still able to do that, Mel, and you get your magic key and you're able to just get a reservation the day that Andrew's there, then hey, that's awesome.
Right. Let's hope. I knocked on wood.
Speaking of, this is just ties into what you guys saying. Every day, it's like, I don't know, it's like the Disney couple house here has became the Pentagon of negotiations. We're rolling out plans now. Things are moving faster. We didn't anticipate the FOMO to be this strong of an outbreak in the house. It's pretty bad. So we're trying to we're trying to find ways to work budgets that things are going to meet, because we're pretty sure this is an inevitable ending of not making it to the end of 2021 without a magic key. So that's how the best way to give you an update of what is happening here. The feelings, and not, let's just get, talking about it. Once Halloween started this weekend and you saw that shot of Jack and then, Sally up there on the second floor of the Haunted Mansion. This is something that's happened because of 2021, right? It's not something, like you said, it's used to being done. It's like, oh, don't do this to me now. Because it's like, I wasn't looking for reasons to be like, oh, I know we have to pull back a little bit. You're looking at the other side, but now you're giving me reasons to be like, you never do that. Now you can do that? And I want to go.
Yep.
Like, Halloween alone is hard for me to, stay away from. Seeing that pumpkin on Main Street, it's like a beacon for me to just come back right now, like a bug waiting for those lights just to turn on. And I'm like, me and my wife we're getting real close. There is like I said, things are moving quickly in a way. I can't say I'm maybe too far behind Melissa. I cannot deny that when Andrew
See you
comes.
next week.
Yeah, right. I can't deny that I might not be there. I just don't know yet.
Well, if you need help with arbitration, I think
Oh.
you have 3 people here that are willing to help out with those arguments.
Arbitration. I don't know if it's arbitration. I think if it's more of we need consultations of knowing that this is a good move.
You need a
I mean,
financial
look, the answer is
planner.
obviously yes. Yeah, the more, like Andrew said, I think it's more of a financial planner, because that's where we were, right? Thinking
Right.
how are we going to do 4 passes and how are we going to do this and this? And so once we were able to figure out how to balance that out, then, game on, at least for me right now. But,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But my wife was already asking, when we're going to go back, because we're both itching to see Avengers Campus. And I mean, we still haven't had a chance to see it. We went back to Disneyland. We had our Disneyland birthday day there, but Avengers Campus had just opened, and we've still yet to see it. So, looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the day that we could all get together and just kind of have some pizza or something at the park together again. Plus, I want to be able to do an FGP Squad meetup. I know that some members of the FGP Squad are going to be meeting up with Mel. Jill's going to be in town. Jill is kind of the background member of the Podketeers crew. She helps us out with a lot of stuff behind the scenes. My wife helps us out behind the scenes with a lot of stuff. Although she's not on the podcast, she's a really big, crucial part of it. So thanks, Jill. So, I'm excited when we can all be back in the park together again. But, yeah, I get what you're saying about, like, how dare you do this. And it's not even that, right? Like, even the simple things, like you said, the pumpkin. They do that every year. But then I started realizing, like, the lines for the pumpkin get super long. And at times when you have kids, you don't really feel like standing in line. And we took that for granted when we had annual passes because we always felt like, we'll do it next time. Yeah, we'll do it next time. And then there was years where we didn't get certain pictures because we just kept saying, we'll do it next time, and we never did, right? And so now I'm thinking like, okay, well, next time has to happen the next time we're there, like regardless of the line. Like, we just got to do it.
For me,
right?
Anne became...
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So now even the things that we were used to on a yearly basis have become a lot more special, especially not having had it for an entire year before that. So I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it. But, yes, I'm happy that it's Halloween time. I'll be even happier when it's Christmas time, and I'll be even happier if we get an opportunity to see either one of them this year, because that's been the biggest thing. We have some changes happening, and there's a lot of stuff going on this end that I don't know if we're going to be able to go to the park anytime soon, but I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping that I'll also feel safe enough to be like, you know what, let's just go. Oh, look, there's a day available. All right, let's do this. So there's a lot of things to balance out, but hopefully, we'll get there. Other stuff happening in the park. Speaking of magic keys and everything, it looks like there is a special magic key area back in the Starcade in Tomorrowland. This is similar to what we've seen with the AP days.
Yep.
You guys remember those?
Mm-hmm.
They seem so long
those
ago.
are fun.
Yeah, they seem so long ago. They had the Main Street Electrical Parade photo ops back when they did the last one at Starcade. Did they do another one after that one, or was that the last one they did at Starcade?
I can't recall.
It feels like that was the last one. I don't know. I could be wrong. The point is that it's back. You have a couple of photo ops there. Andrew, you want to tell us about what they have going on at Starcade?
I believe there are, it's 3 or 4. I don't have them up right now. But the first one is a giant magic key. You get this big thing. Welcome back, magic key holders. And then there's, that's kind of like a cardboard cutout thing. And then there's, the next one is this big lighted magic key display. It has a couple dozen magic keys, all with Mickey head on the end, and that one's kind of cool. The lights change around and do different kind of cool fun stuff. And then they have a Haunted Mansion gingerbread house one that is very cool. It's the cutout of the artwork that what do we want to call it? The artwork that the pre-design artwork for
concept art.
Yeah, there we go. That's the word that I couldn't think of.
Nice.
The concept art for the gingerbread house this year, and that thing's massive. I mean, I think it's like 8 feet tall, the photo op, if not taller. So, and then it looks like the last section is a possible Mickey Mouse. Mickey comes out every once in a while. It says Halloween Magic, and I think Mickey shows up. Oh, no, there's another one. This one. Muppets Haunted Mansion as well. That's the one that I forgot about.
Yes.
Gonzo and Pepe as ghosts, as hitchhiking ghosts, kind of. But they're like clear, so you can stand behind them and you see yourself through them. It's very cool. All these photo ops are really cool. We had a couple friends there take advantage of them, and that's where I saw it originally. So yeah, I think these are really cool. I'm really excited about this, the Muppets one and the Gingerbread House one.
It looks super cool, man. The Magic Key one, like, I get where they were going with it, but when you stand in front of it, it feels like it's a giant wheel that you need to spin for a prize. I don't know if you've seen the photos of it. If we are able to find some on Instagram or somebody posts them, we'll try to put them in the blog post for the episode or share them in Instagram stories.
King of Thrones vibes.
Really?
That chair they always show.
I gotta.
The Iron Throne?
Yeah, I don't watch the show, but I always see
I
the
can see
picture of
what
that
you're
Iron
saying there,
Throne
Larry.
thing. I was
Yeah.
getting that vibe. I was like, whoa.
It kind of gives me Paint the Night
Yeah.
with Tink's
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
float.
looked like a
Melissa.
peacock, so everybody's just got a different
Yes.
So if there happens to be a new, float, here we go. Breeze it.
the
Go for
Magic
it.
Key float.
It'd be cute.
The Magic Key float. Yeah, I mean, look, if you are going to go with the key float, there is already an IP that is key-based that I think we'd be happy to see in the parks, that we've seen especially during Halloween,
Yep.
as a matter of fact. And that is...
The Pirates of the Caribbean dog with the keys.
You got it, Andrew. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You nailed it. I got it.
Spot
That
on.
was funny.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to see a Pirates of the Caribbean float with the dog as the centerpiece carrying that key, I'm actually talking about Kingdom Hearts. And we've seen Donald, we've seen Goofy in their Kingdom Hearts gear already. It's an IP that I think has a huge fan base that isn't represented really at all in the parks right now. If ever it was represented, this is the time. Disney, don't lose out on this opportunity. You got the whole key thing going on right now. You know how many
Right?
Keyblades you could sell right now? This is like the best opportunity you've ever had to bring this IP into the parks. So you're welcome. I don't even need a check for this one. I'm just going to be happy if it happens to be in the parks. So there, I said it. I'm not, I'm not going to be sad about it. But yeah, make it happen, Disney.
Small little detail I think I heard from some friends regarding those photo ops is that I think to not make big lines, they may be using virtual queue systems.
Oh.
So when you get there, like if there's a bigger line, they will induce a virtual queue for you to come back and take your picture when it's a smaller line. That's what I heard.
I like that.
So that's kind of a cool little thing. Yeah, that's a cool new addition that I'm like, all right, there you go. Once again, Disney, adding things that I was like, I don't need improvements. I need you to stay the same. Don't make me want to go.
Right?
That's
But see, there they are, saying something stupid like I
Yeah.
love you.
oh, wow. Nice. That's a good pull.
Just like before when they did the AP days, there are things that you can do there. There's a bunch of Magic Key merch that you can purchase, popcorn buckets and cups and a bunch of cool stuff that has the Magic Key logo. You can also get snacks there. There's also charging stations for your devices. So as a Magic Key holder, you have the opportunity to sit there and recharge the battery that just completely drained itself after 15 minutes of being in the park, because that's just how devices seem to work when you're inside of Disneyland. But yeah, I love the fact that they're doing this. I'm glad that they're kind of recycling that area again in a very similar fashion that we're used to seeing. So it hits you in the warm and fuzzies. I like it. And I'm telling you, man, that the Gingerbread House and the Muppets Haunted Mansion are the two that I would be looking forward to the most. I just think they're great photo ops. That giant gingerbread house, man, they did such a good job designing it. They took... I want to go back.
You just wanna
tomorrow.
smell
Can I go
it.
back tomorrow? I know. Oh, hey, look. Can I just quickly I need to say this because on TikTok there's been this huge pull about candles that smell like Disney attractions, right? And people are always trying to correlate smells from companies. to things that we recognize in the parks to kind of bring the park experience home. And there's certain things that are much easier to replicate, right? If you get something that smells a little orangey, a little citrusy, boom, soaring, right? Like it's an instant win. If you get something that smells kind of like when you're flying over the waters, you get that ocean breeze sort of smell, like cool, that's a great one as well. There's the vanilla that they pump through Main Street. That's an easier one to replicate as well. There's a scent at a major retailer that smells a lot like the gingerbread house, according to a lot of people inside of the Haunted Mansion. But there was one particular candle that even, like, my wife and I were like, oh man, we got to go get this, right? And there was a part of me that almost felt like I was getting duped, right? Because I feel like it was just one of those candles that a social media influencer was like, buy this candle because it smells like Pirates of the Caribbean. Use my link, by the way, to purchase it. And it's an affiliate link. And so everybody's buying this candle. We went out and bought it. Like, we did like a curbside pickup for the candle, and it smells nothing like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not bromine?
Nothing. Okay. And at first I thought to myself, well, maybe they're talking about the Walt Disney World version of Pirates. Like, maybe there's a different smell. Like, I mean, here at Disneyland proper, it smells a lot like bromine, and it smells muggy, and it smells great, right? And who knows if it's good for us in any way, but damn it smells great. And then we got this candle, and we lit it up, and it smells good, okay? It's something morning, sunny side morning. I forgot what it's called. But the point is that we bought the candle, we lit it up, and it smelled nothing like Pirates. Honestly, if you buy one of those chlorine tablets and throw it into your toilet, those things usually have a mixture of chlorine and bromine to keep your toilet clean. Every time you flush, it'll smell more like Pirates than this candle did.
2-for-1 deal. Woo!
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
So it's kind of difficult, right? Because when not everybody feels completely safe to go into a store and purchase these things in person, and you're obviously not going to take your mask off and start sniffing a bunch of candles and stuff in the middle of a store. Most stores still have regulations here in California where you have to wear your mask indoors. So you can't really do that. So it was a blind purchase. And I want to say that the retailer is really good about the return policy, and even if we lit it and we didn't like it, they'll exchange it, or they'll return it for us.
Okay.
But we decided to keep it. It smells good enough that we decided to keep it. But let me try to find this. Candle because okay, so the candle, and I'm just going to tell you the retailer because now I just can't get around it because now I'm telling you the name of the candle. But it's a candle at Bath & Body Works, and it's called Lakeside Morning. And, like, we saw so many posts on Instagram and TikTok about people like, this smells exactly like Pirates. And all I could think was, okay, if you think this smells like Pirates, your nose is broken. Because there's nothing about this that smells like Pirates. That, or you have some affiliate link in your bio that you want us to click on so that you make some money off of this. And if that's the case, make sure that you're putting that hashtag ad on your post. Don't make us think that it's you just liking the smell of this because it smells like something. I know there's tons of companies out there that try to replicate the scents. I know Gavin had talked about this a long time ago, how he went through several different companies that he was buying candles from.
Yeah.
I've ordered a couple, from some companies as well. But, yeah, if you were just doing it to try to get people to buy a candle and you were using an affiliate link, please disclose that. Don't just make a bunch of people buy a candle and then it smells nothing like it, and then you have Hazen ranting for 10 minutes because I'd rather be smelling the toilet bowl with the bromine and the chlorine for it to really smell more like Pirates.
Just be honest. There we go. Right? That's it. Plain and simple.
Anyway, rant over. Sorry. I just want to throw it out there since we were talking about it. And we were talking about the gingerbread smell. Because there is a candle that's gingerbready. I can't say that it's the exact smell that they're pumping through the mansion, but they do have several gingerbread smells. And I did order one because, quite frankly, I like that smell. And I'm going to close my eyes every time I walk by the candle and just feel like I'm going through. Or I might print a picture of the mansion, and I might print a picture of the gingerbread house, and I'm just going to put the candle in front of that picture, and every time that I go by it, I'm going to turn my body so that I'm facing down at it.
Wait, you got to
Keep
add
walking,
one
so-
more element. You got to put the
that?
soundtrack on. And you got to listen to
Oh,
it.
yes.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll make it motion captured.
There
or
you
I'll,
go.
I'll add like a motion sensor, right?
Motion activated.
Yeah, that way every time I pass by, it triggers the music. It triggers the poof of the little candle thing.
Yep.
We'll make this happen. I like it.
So now you know candles, Bath and Body. Get your game together because this is what Hazen expects.
Step it
when he gets a
up,
candle.
Bath and Body Works.
He wants the full experience.
So anyway, what were we talking? Yes, the mansion. So yeah, the gingerbread house photo op made me think about it. Which, by the way, the gingerbread house fully activated. They put a video up on TikTok in the Disney Parks TikTok account, and I think they did it on Instagram as well. But they had a video of them assembling this massive new gingerbread house, and it always surprises me, and I'm always in awe at how amazing it is to see this thing getting pieced together. You know how intricate it is? The pounds and pounds and pounds of gingerbread that go into creating this thing. I just, man. The kitchen crew and the Imagineering crew that work together to put this thing together, man. You're my heroes. And
Yeah.
if I could even get to eat something that big later, I mean, just brings a tear to my eye. So that's it. I think there's a lot of great stuff happening in the parks right now. If you have an opportunity to go soon, let us know. Tag us if you have an opportunity to go into the Magic Key area over at the Starcade, and that way we can post some pictures of what everything looks like inside of the Starcade. We'll repost it in our Instagram stories and everything. Anything else? I think before we wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think I'm excited for my trip coming up. It's going to be excited, and I'm waiting with bated breath to see if Melissa's going to end up showing up. So.
No pressure. Dang. Yeah,
She'll
I'll
be
be
there.
there.
That's if dates are
She'll be
available. I
there.
have to check the calendar. Who knows? They might be sold out.
And if not, then
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
well. I still have to see you to give you your blanket, so.
You can always
I have
meet
to give her
outside
her
of the
stuff
park.
from Spirit Halloween, so I'll see her one way or another.
All right, well, before we close, I do have one more thing. Team Boat Willie pins are finally going to be available. I finally got the backer
Yeah.
cards. I was sending pictures to the group of me doing some tests of the markers that we're going to be using for the back of it. I bought a whole bunch of metallic markers, and I was testing to see which one looked the best and which one dried the fastest, and made sure that it didn't smear when we put them in the little plastic backers and all sorts of stuff. But those are coming. I'm going to be writing all 100 cards, putting the pins on the cards, packaging them up, and those are going to be ready to start selling hopefully within the next week from the release of this episode. So that is coming. Remember that proceeds from the sale of these pins will go to help our campaign for Walk for Hope, to help find a cure for women's cancers. This is something that's very important to us, and we want to make sure that we make a difference. Plus, you get a cool pin out of it. It's limited to 100 pins. It's a special release. Once we sell out of these 100 pins, we will have Team Boat Willie pins again, but they will not be the gold pin. They will be the silver pin going forward. So this is going to be your only opportunity to get a gold Team Boat Willie pin, on top of the fact that your purchase will be going to help a very good cause. So remember, that's going to be launching soon. Keep an eye on our Instagram for information on when that launches. That's it. That's going to end the episode for today. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, give us the keys, you scrawny little beast.
Man.